If you're a service business in the DFW area, you need to watch this video on how to properly set up your Google My Business and your website to dominate the local DFW Metroplex. If you watched the previous video that I broke down the plumbing industry in the DFW area, you'll remember that milestone continually came up in the results, not only in the search engine results, but also in the AI recommendations when asked who is the best plumbing company in Dallas. You can see that they also are recommending Milestone. So a lot of this is, if you do good in SEO, you do good in AI results as of right now. But Milestone in general is just dominating on their on-site SEO and their off-site SEO. So I just kind of want to break that down for you. So let's first go over to their website, and you can see as you scroll down to this page, they have this area down here for all their various services, and these go to individual pages. So that's typical as a business to have different pages per service item. But what you really need to do locally is also have local pages that break down your service areas. So for example, if I click into Frisco, I have a dedicated page on Frisco that talks about the service that you're offering in Frisco. But not only that, you also have broken down pages for your individual service by that city. So for example, you have a Frisco air conditioning page, you have a Frisco heating page, you have a Frisco plumbing page, you have a Frisco electrical page, and you can see those down here in this bottom left hand corner as I'm mousing over it. Notice it says /Frisco /cooling /Frisco /heating, etc. And so this is just a page about Frisco, and then as you click into one of these, you're going to have a page dedicated to Frisco cooling. So they've done this for every city, right? So if you go into Ahrefs, and I have call Milestone in here, and I sorted by top pages, notice that a lot of their service pages are showing up. So here's their main URL, and then you have /Dallas, you have /Fort Worth, you have just cooling, you have Fort Worth cooling. Notice that their top keyword in this section here is AC repair Fort Worth, and they're in position 2. But this page also ranks for 64 other keywords, and it's all around Fort Worth. So that's why it's important to break down your website into various cities and services. Every city should have the service page. So the Fort Worth cooling, you have Dallas plumbing, you have Plano plumbing. So you have the Fort Worth plumbing. Notice that it's ranking for plumbing terms. They have 59 keywords in here, and they're ranked currently in the 5th position for Fort Worth plumbing. A lot of issues that I see with businesses is they'll create a service pages, say for example plumbing, heating, HVAC, and then they'll just throw their service areas in there, like, oh, we serve Dallas, we serve Fort Worth, on the same page. So it's just a broad general page that doesn't break down each individual city and each individual service for each individual city page. So again, that's very important to do, and this is the blueprint right here. If you want to pass this off to your web developer or your SEO, what needs to happen, it's going back down here, looking at all the various services for each of the cities, and then breaking down all your service areas. Another tactic is, you'll notice that they have various locations around the DFW Metroplex, and for service businesses, people aren't going to the service, right? So Google is just showing these businesses based on a radius around their business area. So that's why they're getting hit around Fort Worth for this area, the Bedford area here. They have several locations in the Dallas. I actually clicked through some of these just to see where they are on the map, and you can see that they have a lot of Milestone locations. Milestone. This one I'm not so sure about. It looks like there is maybe an HVAC truck here, so it might be in this building or something, but I'm not seeing any kind of Milestone branding or anything like that. This Garland location, you can see Milestones right there. this location, it looks like inside of a CrossFit gym. So again, they have this listed on their website as this 2360, this one right here in Garland, but it looks kind of iffy, right? And then in their Haltom City, I'm not really seeing milestone anywhere unless they're like inside this building or something. This industrial one, I'm not really seeing where they might be here. But my point is, same for this address, right? Like they're not around here. But this is what you call GMB stacking, meaning like you get addresses in the areas that you need in order to show up as a radius around that area, right? So some of these locations don't look to actually be physical locations. They may have a friend there, or they may just be renting a space to get that address, then to get verified in Google, so then they can show up around this. So in the DFW area, that's really important. We're not like other metroplexes where you live in one major area, say Fort Worth, and you kind of just have a radius around Fort Worth and you kind of serve this whole area. In the DFW area, especially in service industries, you're likely covering a wide range all over the metroplex. But if you just have one location, it's going to be hard. If you're in Crowley and you're wanting to get business up in Wiley and Carrollton, you're just not going to show up in Google My Business. So this way of GMB stacking, not necessarily white hat SEO, probably a little bit more black hat. But people are doing it, and you can see right here that I'm not saying Milestone's doing it, but it definitely looks like they're doing it. So just a tactic to keep in mind. But the point of this video is, again, just the breakdown structure of your on-page SEO and making sure that you have all your various service areas and then dedicated service pages for those areas. If you have any questions, let me know.